Super excited to get the sprint stages their very own How the Race Was Won this year. And Stage 1's winner was, in a way, the usual first-day chaos, as a touch of wheels sent Jumbo-Visma's Dylan Groenewegen sprawling, splitting the field. With teammates in short supply, the battle for wheels was particularly cutthroat, and to add to that, the finish was uphill and into a headwind, so very easy to get too far forward too soon, like Sunweb's Michael Matthews here at 300 meters to go. Let's take a look at Lotto Soudal's Caleb Ewan, tucked away on the wheel of de Kooning Quickstep's Elia Viviani, and Jumbo's Mike Teunissen, who's not really a sprinter, but who is about to get an absolute gift from Bahrain Merida's Sonny Colbrelli. While Teunissen kicks back on his fine Italian armchair, Ewan drives along the barriers for Matthews' wheel as Bora Hansgrohe's Peter Sagan launches. The Lotto rider invents some space in front of Viviani as only a sprinter can, but the gap giveth and the gap taketh away as a fading Colbrelli moves towards Sagan's wheel. The Bora rider looked ready to take the win, but Teunissen, with the benefit of a more consistent effort and shorter exposure to the wind, just overhauls Sagan at the line. After that chaos, only fitting to see de Kooning Quickstep put together a near-textbook lead-out for Viviani on Stage 4, kicked off by yellow jersey Julian Alaphilippe at 1k to go. There's just no substitute for keeping out of the elbows like those thrown between Sagan and UAE Emirates' Jesper Philipsen here. Philipsen does do a great job of getting teammate Alexander Kristoff into the mix, but he also finishes off by inadvertently highlighting another advantage of a great train, getting and holding the shortest line around these finish bends. Kristoff has been known to like a longer sprint, but I can almost see him grumbling about accelerating without a draft over 200 meters out. There's a chance he could catch DQS napping on this, but Max Richesi is one of the sharpest-minded and sharpest-elbowed lead-out men in the bunch, and he opens the door for Viviani while making Kristoff and Sagan's day just that little bit harder. All Viviani needs to think about is pedaling fast with his head low for 150 meters. Just picture-perfect teamwork for a well-deserved win. Of course, not all sprint teamwork happens in the final K. On Stage 5, coming into the Cat 2 Côte de Trois Épis, still 38k out, Bora ratcheted up the pace, betting that Sagan could outclimb the handful of guys he hasn't been able to outsprint. DQS and Sunweb pitched in, betting that Alaphilippe or Matthews might be able to prove Bora wrong. Sagan's very powerful, but he lacks that snap of pure sprinter quickness. But as you can see here in the final K, a smaller group changes the game from pop through split-second gaps to just kind of move up, which is very much to Sagan's benefit. The increased space also gives Sagan room to pull these little flicky things to make sure no one's coming up on a corner to box him in. So while Mitchelton Scott's Daryl Impey does a decent job setting up teammate Matteo Trentin at 200 meters to go, if Sagan's path to the line is as simple as move left and pedal, no one in this group will be able to touch him. Stage 7 was the longest day of this year's tour and came after the first mountaintop finish, so no surprise to see a day of cruise and snooze followed by absolute chaos. Pretty much every sprinter's team wanted to lead, but it was Jumbo-Visma's Wout van Aert tossing the bottle and getting to the front 6k out and staying there for nearly the next 4, stringing the group out behind him in the process. Norwegian champ Amund Grøndal Jensen continued the effort for a very well-placed Groenewegen, but as the scrum got rough in the final K, teammate Teunissen seemed to lose him, and he pinballed between trains, ate wind, and began sliding backward at a time when lost inches take a meter of effort to recover. Meanwhile, DQS was setting up Viviani again, giving him rest as his rivals banged and jockeyed. The only knock is this time they waited too long. Richesi is still driving the front well inside 200 meters when Groenewegen launches, kind of because his position leaves him no other choice. Ewan seems to stand for a second then too, but holds off, while the Jumbo rider gets down to the business of demonstrating why he was a sprint favorite coming in. Viviani goes at 100 meters, but with Groenewegen and Ewan already up to speed, he's quickly eclipsed and throws in the towel. Ewan's got the benefit of less time in the wind and a slight rise to the line, but can't quite clip Groenewegen for the bike throw. Stage 10, crazy GC day, but that's another video. We'll finish with a reduced group uphill tailwind sprint, another day that I think is more power than snap. Sunweb leading it out, but I think they go a little late, and Trentin is one of the first of many to get the jump on them. The Mitchelton Scott rider's move is a double bummer for Sagan as it boxes him in and puts him in the Richesi zone, but on the other side of the road Van Aert fires and heads-up riding by Viviani puts him right on the wheel. Ewan might have been a little over-focused on Sunweb's train and seems caught over-geared as Trentin comes alongside. He does maneuver ably around Case Bowl, but the damage is done as he moves over onto Van Aert's wheel. Viviani makes his move and closes well, but Van Aert gets substantially better extension on the bike throw, and in the end I think that was what made the difference. I'm Cosmo Catalano, and that's how the race was won.